J'ai hâte d'entendre les questions.
OK, alors nous, on pose des questions parce qu'on apprend à connaître les Cheetahs for Change. Ça, c'est leur nom. Ils s'appellent Cheetahs for Change. Et eux, ils ont des questions. Alors là, on échange des questions pour se connaître. Alors, Sébastien, go ahead.
Why did you choose the name Cheetahs for Change? Why did you pick this animal? Why did you create this organization? How can a cheetah change the world?
Well, it is very nice to meet you, Sebastian. Thank you so much for these questions. And yeah, I'm very excited to have a conversation with you guys. So in terms of our name, we believe that you have one chance to make a really good first impression. That's why we wanted to advertise ourselves as more of an activism club. By using the word change in our name, we can make our goals and our values clear and accessible to everybody just by reading out our name, Cheetahs for Change. Now, next up, our mascot, as is stated in the name, is the cheetah. And well, we picked that because first of all, our school mascot is the cheetah, but also because one of our biggest values as a club is patience. We know that hard work won't always pay off immediately, but it will always pay off at some point. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of patience. And there is nothing more patient than a cheetah waiting to pounce on, well, on their target. So the next question was why we created the club, correct? Yes, all right. So we created this club out of the necessity for change. Change is something that we've always needed, but especially after witnessing some of the injustices and atrocities in recent times, not just, you know, on the news and on the TV, but in our very own community. We seeked out a group of like-minded individuals who are all after the same thing, making the world a better place, well, for everybody. That's why we're here today talking to you guys. And then, sorry, what is the last question again?
How can a cheetah change the world?
How can a cheetah change the world?
How can a cheetah change the world? What a wonderful question. I really like that one. So a motto that I associate with our club is run fast or get run past. And what we mean by that is that we as a team have to make the first move if we don't want the problem getting ahead of us. That is why we need to jump on current and acute issues as fast as a cheetah. That mindset is how we, the Cheetahs for Change Club, plan on changing the world someday. So thank you so much for the questions, man.
What is your name?
My name is Cameron.
Cameron, nice to meet you. And you're grade 11?
Yes, I'm in grade 11.
Excellent, thank you. And this is a club for you guys. It's not like a social studies class or what have you, right? Okay, it's a club.
This is a voluntary club. We do at lunchtime. So the people who are, you know, who want to make this change are coming out and giving up their own time to do so.
Awesome. And I hear you're a BI or IB school. Are you all in the IB program?
So actually, we have a few different people we wanted to get involved answering the questions. So I'm actually going to hand it off to my friends here.
That's good.
Yeah, I can do it in English if you want.
Bonjour. Hello. So this is an IB school. Are you all in the IB program?
Not all of us. So our IB program works that some people take the IB program, some of them don't. So IB is generally a global program where they have a higher standard of academics in general. So people get to choose if they want to go to that program or not, and they're not really forced into the program in the first place.
Excellent. Good to hear. Good to hear. Thank you. OK, vas-y, tu as une question, mon ami, en 5e année. Vas-y.
Qui vous a inspiré à créer cette organisation? Combien êtes-vous?
Do you speak French? Did you understand that question?
C'est ma première fois.
Oui, OK, c'est bon.
Et on a créé cette club en général du fait que notre enseignant nous a inspiré à créer le club. Pendant les vacances d'été, c'était à peu près un mois avant la rentrée, elle nous a demandé si on voulait faire un club à propos de la justice sociale, à propos de l'interculturalisation en général. Alors, on a dit évidemment oui, c'est une bonne club à y faire et il y avait tout le temps d'événements qui arrivaient pendant les vacances qu'on voulait adresser à l'école. Et oui, elle nous a inspiré à faire ce club. Et l'autre question, c'était combien on est. On a commencé avec 5 gens, 5 de nos élèves de notre école, mais il y a un grand, il y a 30 plus. On est décentralisé, on n'a pas de leader, on n'a pas de personne à tête. C'est tout le monde qui organise leur petit groupe avec des petits projets en général dans une façon décentralisée.
Merci.
De rien.
Allen High School is an IB school. What does that mean? Is that connected to the idea to create this movement? Also, we are curious if you wear uniforms and what are your school colors?
I see. Those are some nice questions. So I think we already addressed a bit of what IB is about, but essentially it is an international curriculum that focuses on bringing what you learn in classrooms to our tables, to what is happening into the real world. So I guess that is the link with our club with the IB goals, which is to bring international mindedness and international issues to our community right now and to address those problems on a global scale. Yet this is not a uniquely IB idea. It is an idea that everyone in our school should share. And this is why we have a combination of IB and regular students that are part of the club, because it is a goal that we all share. And as you see here, we are all fashionistas. We don't have any uniforms. We like to express ourselves through costume, through our outfits. And it's only really this time when we have our colors. They're blue and white, by the way, during sporting events or team days. But most of the time we wear what we want, and we're very that way. We're very unique.
But we share the same colors.
Yes, we do. Oh, you're blue and white as well?
That's right.
What a coincidence.
Très bien, merci.
De rien.
What does your organization do? How do you proceed? Does your movement operate within your class subjects and classroom projects?
What a great question. My name is Nathan, and I'll be answering this one. So, what does our club do? Our club works to create change not only in our own school, but on a global scale. So we wish to work not only in our school community, but in the community as a whole and the global community. We do this through mainly videos and presentations. So we have different people that create videos and different people that create presentations, and they often work together. And doing this, we are able to create a nice show for everyone to see, something that catches their attention and something that they can more easily grasp and learn from. And can I just have the last question there that you mentioned?
Répète ta question. Il n'a pas entendu. Répète ta dernière question. Oui, vas-y.
Does your movement operate within your class subjects and classroom projects?
So a lot of the people that participate in this club are in Madame Smith's classes. However, we're open to everyone. So anyone that in our school that wants to participate in these meetings, in these events, are allowed to. We don't restrict it just to a certain group of people. We want to have the more ideas, the better, is the whole idea for how we let people in. So if you don't have any more questions, I'm going to pass it off to someone else. Thank you for the question.
Merci. Thank you for your time.
How are you guys dealing with COVID? What do you think people should do about COVID that they aren't doing now?
Well, they're wonderful questions. In Nova Scotia, masks are required, there are gathering limits, and high number gathering events and restaurants are closed. Vaccines are on the way for high priority citizens, and pop-up testing sites are coming across the nation. There are also limits up of where you can and can't go. Nova Scotia is like a province of Canada. Nova Scotia is a province of Canada, similar to regions in France. We aren't doing as well as we did in the first wave. Cases are on the rise, and the government is being more relaxed with their laws. As a continent, we aren't doing great either. There are hotspots and new cases everywhere. As a country, I think we should consider shutting down schools, tightening gathering limits, or potentially reinstalling the household bubbles that we had during the first wave. These laws could reduce the uprise of cases, however, they could also create economical strain. But I think this is a sacrifice we should be willing to make because the economy can rebound while our lives cannot. That being said, as a club, we keep COVID in mind while we work. We keep masks on at any time we're in a meeting, we socially distance, and we try and work in small groups to keep interaction at a minimal. We also talk through social media, so we don't have to talk in person, therefore even furthering limiting the amount we have to interact.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your name?
I'm Sam.
Nice to meet you, Sam.
Thanks, nice to meet you.
What grade are you in now? And what grade were you when you got started?
All right, so awesome question. I'm Ava, and I'm going to be answering this question. So our club encompasses people of all grades throughout the school. We don't want to discriminate based on grade level, considering we believe that all people can make a change. As for when me and other people in the club got started, I've known for my whole life that I've wanted to do something like this. I've wanted to make a change within my community and the world as a whole. But until now, an outlet quite like this either didn't exist or wasn't available to me. Considering this is the club's first of hopefully many years making an impact. So for me and everyone else in the club, this is our first year.
Thank you.
Merci.
Welcome.
Comment est-ce que votre organisation peut affecter le monde de façon positive?
C'est une belle question. Moi, personnellement, je m'appelle Jérémy Boudreau, enchanté de faire votre connaissance. On doit être considérant du fait qu'ici à CPA, on est en train d'enseigner des élèves de la 10e, la 11e, la 12e année, vraiment des élèves de la secondaire. Ces élèves, dans 2-3 ans approximativement, ils vont éventuellement devenir des adultes fonctionnaires de la société. Ils vont devenir vraiment la société qui gouverne et dirige la future qu'on va vivre dedans. Leurs expériences, leurs biais et leurs attitudes qu'ils cultivent durant leurs années durant la secondaire, ces attitudes vont être apportées dans la société. Je trouve que notre projet, en termes de Cheetahs for Change, ce projet vise à apprendre à quel point c'est important de vraiment regarder comment on vit, comment on regarde les autres, comment on pense, et de vérifier nos biais et les cultures qui nous entourent pour qu'ensuite, on est capable d'être conscient du monde qui nous entoure et d'apporter cette bonne attitude dans la société moderne lorsqu'on va graduer de l'école. C'est notre espoir au moins avec ce projet ici. Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
We were wondering what are your future goals for your organization?
Thank you for your question. My name is Matthew, by the way. We as a group know change isn't easy and it was never going to come easily. Our club started with a simple idea. We wanted to bring awareness and discuss social justice issues, never really knowing what kind of impact we could actually have in our school, in our community, and really in the world as a whole. In our school, we have been taking action. Starting small was always a plan, and we are looking for ways to branch out now. We want to encourage cultural intelligence and cultural literacy and provide an opportunity for others to share their stories and opinions and ultimately bring us all closer together. The ways our school has been taking action for these goals was, well, by opening up a club and allowing everyone to be involved. We have been holding workshops for all of our CPA teachers with the goal of inspiring that cultural literacy that I've been talking about. One of our mottos is think globally and act locally. Looking on a larger scale and dreaming big, pulling some of the most prominent social issues in our day and age and figuring out what we can do within our community to create a movement and make these changes we want to see actually happen. Communicating with important people in the world and political figures would be a big goal for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Finley.
How do you think we can cooperate together in the future? If you were leading our movement, what would you ask our 100+ schools to do?
Well, that's a very interesting question.
For cooperation between our two groups, I'd like to work together to talk to important people in the political and scientific field, since these are the people who will really be shaping the future of the world. And if I were leading your organization, I'd like to call on that network of hundreds of schools in order to have a voice on the global scale. Since on an individual school-by-school basis, we don't really have very much pull at such a high level. But as a collective of like-minded students, we have power to talk to these people through conversations with those people in positions of power. We can help have some say in how the world is shaped.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi. Now it's your turn to ask us a question. What do you want to know about our movement, Young Global Citizens?
Okay, so I have 3 questions for you. So my first one would be, what is the greatest problem today that affects our society the most? And what can we as global citizens do to address this great issue?
Well,
What are the biggest problems? What are we working on right now?
we're working on pollution and how we can change the world and
We're working on water right now, is a big issue.
yeah,
First Nation.
yeah,
What are we doing?
we're working on First Nations and to help them and
Help them do what?
help them. Well,
Okay, I'll come in
Get
and
better.
help a little bit. Let me come in and help. We practice for this. We practice for this question. One thing we saw that's been a focus, and when we had a meeting with the Senator Mobina Jaffer, we talked about water. And she was in the Sudan as a UN envoy, and water was an issue. Water is a huge issue of the future. And now the kids and the senators and then the other schools, we let the movement go in its own direction where the kids want to take it. So they were like, water should be the focus for now. We can achieve one thing, and if we achieve it, we move on to the next goal and move on to the next goal. So global warming, water, education, and the UNESCO goals, which are the Sustainable Development Goals.
And I think it's a good tool to have because it affects everyone, no matter which social class or what gender or whatever you are. Living on the planet is something that we all are doing right now, and I think that's a good goal to achieve in general. And what would you define is the principal qualities of a global citizen? So what do you think is the responsibilities that we as global citizens should assume the most? And you can say a few ones, 2, 3, as many as you want.
Qualities of a young global citizen.
Well, so we help people around the world. We try to do that. We try to get water to other people who don't have water and they have to get water from like the streets. And they we think that we should connect around the world so that we could help with the governments and so that they can get fresh water for the other people.
I see. So one of the qualities of a global citizen would be probably to help others who are most in need and to go else. You can either go elsewhere or go communally so long as you are helping the ones who are in need of most of the help of others, less fortunate. I see. So I guess my last question for today would be, what kind of collaborations you decided to have with us? Are there any transcontinental projects you wish to have with us that we can work together to achieve? So is there any projects you're working on right now that you would want us to work all together?
So we're working on a project where we're trying to help First Nations research who do not have access to clean water. We're trying to make the world a better place, as other people said. So maybe you can help us with helping First Nations or.
So we want to find a foundation. We've been researching 11 different foundations that serve First Nations, made by First Nations. One we selected was called True North Aid.org, and they do have a focus on water with the Indigenous, the Inuit, and the First Nations. And we've been learning the differences between Inuit and First Nations and it's very interesting and very important that we should work together with them, put them in charge. And we thought about having a donate button that would link to them. We thought about getting all of the participating schools to join in if they're interested, having a donate button that links to that foundation. And one thing we're trying to do right now is to get the Prime Minister's attention. So with you guys, because now we finished interviewing Jagmeet Singh, Andrew Shea, Elizabeth May, all the leaders, and Yves-François Blanchet from the Bloc Québécois that a lot of people don't really know in Canada, but it's also important. And now the only ones left is, well, we would like to do Erin O'Toole, but we would like to do Prime Minister Trudeau the first time to present our project. And we would like to tell Monsieur Trudeau, we'll come back a year from now and we'll report on our project. And then we'll get your feedback and your input and your commitment, Mr. Trudeau. Now that you see, we've got all these young people across the country, what are you willing to do to help? Because there was a goal, the government made a goal, but they didn't keep their goal to help the First Nations with access to water. They said it's too hard, it's too expensive, it's not going to happen within the time frame. So we think if all of us together, we join, then we can help the political will to achieve this. And we're hoping for the big interview with Mr. Trudeau, we'll have one school in each province and each territory. So 13 questions. This can be a national event. And we hope you can join us.
And that is very good because water is something that it's not something that you have to buy. It's a human right. Everyone has the right to drink and to have access to clean water. And our current residential, like the Native Americans and the Native Canadian people in our country today don't have access to this clean water. So it's very important. Indigenous people, thank you. And it's very important because it's the foundation of our health, being able to drink clean water and to bathe and to cook with this water. But if we don't have it, we cannot stay healthy, and our Canadian citizens, and it's Indigenous rights, not only Indigenous rights, but human rights as well. So the issue is very current, it's very recent, and it should be addressed immediately. Perfect. And I guess that's the complete of our questions for today. Thank you very much for answering our questions, and it was very fun talking to you all.
Awesome. Thank you for taking the time.
Excuse me. Isla would like to say thank you on behalf. No, she's too shy. Okay. So we just want to say thank you for your time. We're really looking forward to the future. We'll see you on Monday. We can talk during the weekend if you need us. And we're just so excited. We're so impressed by your dynamic motivation and your smart ideas and your engagement. And we're very happy to be your new friends across the country. Take care.
Take care. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for answering the questions and the practice.
Votre français est super bon.
Oui, c'est très bien. C'est fantastique d'entendre d'autres élèves au secondaire. C'est super. Bonne journée tout le monde. À bientôt.
Au revoir tout le monde. Bye.
Bye.